G'day everyone, Jay here, Squiggle FPV, here to do a quick unboxing and review of the new TinyHawk Freestyle. Now, this one's got me excited because it's really cool. So, you know, there's been a lot of hype about it, a lot of people said this and that, but, you know, I had to get one and try it for myself. But, yeah, we'll talk about this in a second, like when I do the wrap up at the end. But let's get down in the up close and we'll see how it looks. Alright, see you soon. Alright, here we are with the up close. Now, as you can see, the box is very nice. I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same as the TinyHawk S and the normal TinyHawk box. Very cool. Good way to use stuff that's extra, I guess. Now, we'll open her up. Let's see what's inside. Alright. So we open her up and here it is. That's it there. Nice little unit. It's very well built, I would say. That's me. I do like the white. You know, it's carbon fiber, as you can see just there, but it's just got a white print on it and it looks really nice. The motors are 1103 7000 kV, as you can see there. They would do perfect. Also, the guts of it. Now, all of the guts, I had a quick look, and all of the guts are pretty much, I would like to say exactly, but, you know, I don't like to give that sort of stuff. But it looks exactly the same as the TinyHawk S. The same, you know, little odd-shaped flight controller there. And it's an F4 board. I think it's the Maytech 411 is your target. Here's your VTX, and that's the same as in the TinyHawk S, and also the camera is the same. Now, the camera is fixed angle with an asterisk, which means here you can see there's two holes. So if you wanted to turn the angle up a bit, you know, go a bit faster and stuff, you can move this little notch back to that one and it'll give you a bit of extra angle there. Now, yeah, as you can see, there's very similar way it's done, but the thing that they've done with this one, which they haven't done with the TinyHawk S or the normal TinyHawk, is, I don't know if you can see, but the motors, see how you got the plug there, they're direct soldered. Now, that's pretty cool. Like, bummer if you've got to do some sort of replacement, but awesome for, you know, having a bit of a crash. So if you have come down and you have a crash, your motor wires aren't going to pop out like I've had in the other one. Now, this antenna I think is a bit weird. Okay, they could have thought about that one a bit better. They've just got a cable tie and then they've heat shrink that to the cable tie. The cable tie is very small, so as you can see, it doesn't really bring it straight up. But if they could have had something that sort of holds it there, that would have been a lot better. I usually just try and push it a bit more, but when you put it in the box, it's got to come down. Now, that's pretty cool. It does kind of just stay out of the way. I think the props are about sort of here, like when it comes round. So if you do come down too hard on the top, you may get a prop strike there. You may not. Now, it's got a nice little battery strap. It's only a plastic buckle, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to hit it hard enough to break that buckle. There's a nice capacitor here. What is it? It's a where are we? Can't read it. Oh well. 16 volt, 100 microfarad. So that should be plenty to, you know, take with the voltage spikes. Now, with the power cable, I like this idea. Oh wow, look at that, there's a screw head come out. Always check all your screws before you go for a flight. You know, there is an example. That's how it came out of the box. Look at that. Now, getting back to this motor, the battery connector, that's pretty cool little idea. It's got your JST 2.0 connectors, but they're on a little board that's connected to the wires. So, and then it's got a little bit of heat shrink around it. Now that's cool. So you just go like that, and then you get your two batteries. These are the two you get with it. So you get your two little 450s, same as in the TinyHawk, but you just get two of them. and you put that like that, and this goes under here like this. Like that. Pull that down nice and tight, and then you just plug these in like this. So very, very cool idea like that, and then it holds it nicely just there. I'm not going to connect both of them up, but yeah, and that just holds it there nice and out of the way, and it's a very cool little setup. Now the VTX is the antenna is a direct solder, so there's no UFL connector, so if it does break, you better hope you can do some soldering. But like I said, it's a pretty thick wire, so I doubt you'll break it, you know, if you're just fanging around, and plus it's only a 2.5 inch, so I don't think you'll get too, like, you'd have to really hit something hard to get in here to rip it off. It's the same with the antenna for your receiver. That's direct soldered right there, and that comes round out here. I'm thinking about putting a cable tie here and then just bringing it straight back out, but if you just run it down there and then give it a little bit of a straighten up, it tends to hang pretty nicely. But as with all of these little ones, you're not going to get a massive range. I think it was about 200 meters when I give it a crack, but you know, what can you expect from a little single antenna like that? It's definitely not an XSR or an RXSR or anything like that, or Crossfire, so you're not going to be going kilometers. But then again, why would you want to go kilometers with this? Yeah, so I'll just take these batteries back out and have a look at the rest. So the batteries are there. You've got a little box, a little slot here, so if you've got, so you've got your 2 batteries there, you can put another 2 there and then 2 on top. So if you get some more, now I use these race day quads 450s, basically the same battery, and you can just swap them into there, and there you go. So you can carry 8 batteries at a time in this little box. Now we get the charger, obviously. There's your little one, so you get your connectors, you can do 6 at a time, USB. Great for starting out, but when you want to get a bit more into it, I would suggest getting a better charger, and then maybe like a balance lead like this. Alright, now you get your little bag of tricks, and so you've got a XT30 connector, so if you want to change it over and just use like standard straight up 2-cell batteries. You've got the jumper cable, so if you want to go to 1S, don't know why, it screams on 2S. You've got a few standoffs. There's your propeller screws. Now if you want to change propellers too, because these ones are a little bit thicker, they do have thinner screws, so, and there's also spare screws for the rest of it. One thing I was disappointed at, there's no screwdriver, but on this one it's all Allen keys, but there's no Allen key either. That is something that is a bit of a sticking point for me, because if you're supposed to be able to just go flying out of the box, you're not really, because you can't put your props on without an Allen key. Now they're all the same size Allen key, so yeah, your motors and your screws and all this sort of stuff for the frame is all the same size. So if you do go and buy one, or you've got, you know, this sort of size, what is it, 1.5 mil, then you know, you're pretty much right. I'll just tighten this one up and I'll check the rest of them later. So don't do them up too tight, just nip it up and then like a quarter turn. That's what I like to do. These ones here you don't have to do up really tight because they're rubber mounted, so you know, but always, you know, check your motor screws, just give them a bit of a tug. If they don't twist, then they're pretty tight. And then you got your front, oop, there, that one's loose too, that one's loose, so I may as well do it here. There's only 4 left. So this one, that one's alright, that one's alright, there we go. Yeah, but yeah, always check all your screws before you go for a fly, otherwise you'll come back missing them and then have a bad day. But you do have spares. Now so that fits in there beautifully. there. Now here are your props. They're the Avon Emax props. They're nice little shape to them. So you get 2 sets. So there's one set, and then you got another set there. They're very, very interesting shape. I think they're 2.5-inch props, and I think they're 19 pitch, so 25-19. I'd love to try some like 20-35 Hulkies on it or something like that, but we'll see how we go there. We'll use that for later on. Now it is props in, so standard. So that's on the wrong side, and then you just put it on like that, and let's say the very, very, very tight clearance. Now where's the other one? That's this one here. Oops. There you go. Now as you can see, that's pretty damn close. Like if it comes down a bit further, you're gonna hit it quite easily. And they're very interesting shape on these props. You know, part of the design, I guess. They're very quiet as well, which is great. Like this thing, you can hardly hear it. But so far, you know, they've held up pretty well. They're doing quite nicely. So, yeah, I'm liking these props. And there's that, and then this one goes here, and you're away. All you got to do then is get your screws and put them in nice and you know, nip them up, then quarter turn. That should be fine. Now the thing that I'm most annoyed about as well, even more than no screwdriver, is once you got it all loaded up and ready to go, it doesn't fit back in the box. So you're gonna have to pull your props off every time you want to travel with it. That's a bit silly, if you ask me, because I travel a lot, and so very, very annoying. Means you got to take your props off every time you go anywhere. And you know, I don't like traveling with these like this. I like to put them in something when you're going, you know, on a plane or anywhere long, you know, unless you can hold it with you. It can be quite annoying. Now it's a standard setup for the VTX. The button is just there, just on the other side of the USB connector. This button here, now that's your bind button. I mean, no, that's sorry, wrong. That is your boot button. So that's when you want to flash it. It comes flashed already with 4.0.4. And then there's your bind button down in there. So just down under here, there's the bind button. Now the cool thing about these is you just plug it in, get your radio ready, turn your radio on, plug it in. When it's all going, hit the bind button. It'll start flashing the blue light, I think it is, and then you hit the bind on your controller, and when it changes the flashing pattern, you're good to go. And then you just unplug it, take your transmitter out of bind, and good to go. Now when it's already connected up to all the correct modes and everything, but for me, being a bit pedantic about stuff, all my models are on the same, which is a really good thing, so you know exactly where your arm switch is if you need to. They were in the wrong spot for me. So, simple fix, go in a beta flight and just change it all around, change the auxiliaries, and then away you go. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. It's really, I love this white, it's really looking cool. And although I haven't seen it in the air because I got the goggles on, you know, when it was just hovering and doing a test flight, it looked pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going to go put the screws back on for the props, go outside, give it a fly, and we'll see how we go in the flight video. Alright, catch you then. Okay, so here we are out in the field, and as you can see straight up, it's pretty quick. Like, there's definitely no lack of speed on this little one. It's very agile, perfectly designed for, you know, the name. I have heard a lot of stories, or a lot of people saying that, you know, it's great for going around but not really good for freestyle. But in my experience, I'd have to disagree. The only problem that I can find with the not being suitable for freestyle is on big punch outs, you know, big throttle punch outs, you get a bit of oscillation. But that
could probably be easily tuned out of it. Now it's very responsive. You know, not a problem there. It flips and rolls quick, turns very quickly. And as you just saw there, when I went behind the trees, there was a bit of breakup, but that's like 4 or 5 trees from where I'm sitting going through, and trees are the worst because, you know, the water in the leaves and all that sort of stuff. But otherwise, you know, it's pretty damn quick. It's pretty impressive. I really like this quad. Not a fan of the props in the shot, but you know, something this small, it's going to be really hard to do that without having props in the shot. It's really cool. Like, so responsive, does whatever you like. Like, I'm flying this like a 5-inch, you know, doing all the stuff I'd normally do on my Marmot or the other ones. And here we go, I'm going to do a bit of what I would consider racing around. I don't race, there's not much racing where I am, but you know, you can definitely get through gates and stuff like that if you really wanted to race with it, or if racing for this size quad was available. It does really good for that too. Like, if you've flown quads before and you want to get into this sort of micro style or freestyle, this is perfect for your first go. You know, I put about probably 10 to 20 batteries through it, had a few crashes, nothing super hard into anything, but yeah, it just rolls over, flips over, and then gets up again. But here you go, so you can see how it corners nicely. Very responsive, and it does very well for just, you know, fanging around. Now, the battery range was anywhere from 3 minutes 30 to about, when I was really giving it a bootful, trying to do big punch outs and freestyle and stuff like that, to floating around, just cruising sort of between the trees and everything, to I think I got about 5 minutes 30, which was very impressive. But yeah, here we are coming back in, and there we go, 320 on this one.
Alright, we're back, and here we are with the wrap up of the review, and I've got to say, pretty impressed. Very cool. One thing I didn't mention when I did the up and close, there's 2 important things: stickers, and you get a little instruction leaflet. Pretty in depth, same as the TinyHawk S. Tells you all about how to bind it, how to do your VTX, all that sort of stuff. Also any target when you're flashing the firmware. So with this one, very well impressed. Cons, I'd have to say, would be the VTX antenna location, or the way it's put together. So as you can see, it just keeps going out on an angle there, and it's very close. Like, doesn't take much. I reckon you might get a prop strike on that one. The oscillations, easily fixed with the tune when you you know, give that a crack, or you know, wait for someone else to bring out a tune for it. There's a thing called PID Hub that I'll put a link down below to. It's got all PIDs from all different types of quads, and also different pilots. So if you like, you know, you got a 5-inch and you want to do it like Mr. Steel or Johnny FPV or people like that, you can chuck their PIDs on and see how they fly, or whether you like the way that they have theirs set up. Also the travel box, the box that comes in, I would have liked to have seen it with the props on. It's a bit of a pain in the butt to have to take the props on and off all the time when you want to go interstate, or you know, for a bit of a travel. I travel a fair bit, which is why I use an X-lite. Beautiful for travelling, and you know, the range is considerable. You know, nothing like a Crossfire, or even you know, an X9D, or anything like that. But it does do me well. It does perfect. You know, I can get sort of a K&1 on my 5-inch, but we're more about talking to this today. Now, the thing that also complements, or the opposite of that, the problem with the box not being able to pack it away with the props on is there's no Allen key. So if they had an Allen key, it'd make it a little bit less of a problem, but because there's no Allen key with it, and I know they're only a couple of dollars a set, you know, $5–10 a set, but still rather annoying. Now they're all my cons about it. The pros, it's freaking quick. You know, work on your reaction times, fly one of these. Also, it's very agile. It's great, like, except for the oscillation, it's great for freestyle. I'm a big fan of it for freestyle, especially of something this size. The battery plug, that is a brilliant idea. You know, instead of having the two wires and then the little jumper wire between it and then things going everywhere and you have to tie it all up, that solves the problem. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The easy setup. The easy setup is fantastic, you know, literally, if you wanted to, and you didn't mind where the switches are, you could plug this thing in, turn your receiver transmitter into bind, bind this, unplug it, turn it all off, turn it all back on again, plug it in, and away you go. You'll be flying. Very, very simple setup, good for the beginners. Also, the runtime. The runtime was very, very cool, very good. So if you want to just plot about, not going full sick, you know, doing freestyle and stuff like I was in the video, you can get about 5–5.5 minutes out of it, out of a little 450 milliamp battery, two of them. Very, very cool. I was really impressed by that. I've never seen a micro do 5 minutes. Yeah, that was really, really cool. Now, also, things that I love about it, my personal favourites, is the colour. I really dig this white. You know, it's just probably screen printed, I guess, you know, in white. Still got little accents of carbon fibre here and there, but you know, that's just me. You know, I like that sort of stuff. Plus, there's this. It does have carbon fibre all the way through here, but it's kind of like a little channel where it's recessed, and that sort of allows a little bit more airflow around your battery. So if you are pumping your batteries down to 3 volts a cell or something like that, then it will help keep them a lot cooler. Now, another thing that I love about it, it's perfect for any level of experience. So beginners, great, simple setup, off you go, smash it about, or you know, just think it's pretty solid. Also experts, you know, if you're a very, very competent flyer and you want to go sick on something small and you want to travel with it and you don't want to take your 5-inch, this is perfect. Really cool. I really rate this highly. What did I give the TinyHawk? I think it was a 7 out of 10. I'd probably give this a 9. I can't fault anything on it so far with the actual unit, other than the cons that I mentioned. You know, little position. These are little like cosmetic things that you can change that have nothing to do with the actual flying. The oscillation is the only thing, but if you're an expert, you can tune that out straight away. But otherwise, mate, this is brilliant. I would recommend this to anybody who wants to get into the micro open prop style without hesitation. And I will put a link below to it. Definitely one of the best open prop, you know, micro style quads. Better than the Sailfly, better than my, you know, Mobula Carrera conversion. It's the diatone is, you know, it's more of a specific one like that. A little bit different to this, more like an actual quad than a micro with that style, I think. And this is something I hate saying, with the toothpick, similar to the toothpick frames. Very, very cool. I can't talk this up enough, man. I'm in love with this thing. It's beautiful. I'm going to be using it a lot, and I'm just stoked with it. I'm just absolutely stoked. And well done, Emax. Well done. This one's great. But again, you know, 3 months' time, when I've smashed it out and put a couple of 100 batteries through it, we'll see how it goes then. If it's not the same, I will put a 3 months' time review up and see how everyone feels about that. But otherwise, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This is one of the best out of the box, you know, bind and fly quads that I've seen in a very long time. Yeah, nothing to do, just put the props on, stick it on Betaflight if you want to change the change all your auxiliaries around, but honestly you could stick it, stick a battery in it, bind it up, take it outside and have a lot of fun. But yeah, the possibilities are endless. You could even go up in motor size, up in battery size, change over from this to an XT30. Just yeah, it's so versatile. It's amazing. Like I'm fanboying over this thing, and yeah, I'm really impressed with it. So nice work, Emax. Love to see it. Love to see your next lot, and yeah, well done. Yeah, so it's amazing, and the best thing about it, like all the other stuff I've spoken about, but one of the best things definitely is the price. It's like 105 US bucks. Can't go wrong. That's really cool. So yeah, and for 100 bucks, that's really cool. So yeah, now I can't fault this thing, as I was saying. Brilliant. Good work, Emax. Keep going on it. You can only get better from here. Definitely keep on this way. Don't go down. Keep going up. Quality, brilliant. This is one of the best things I've seen in a while. But yeah, everybody can have fun with this. Like if you've flown a tiny whoop or an adducted micro, and you want to get on the bigger ones or something a bit more off the planet, this is the way to go. This will really test you. So yeah, enjoy it, have fun, go out, get yourself one of these and really have some fun, because this will really test you, because it's amazing. Alright, hope you enjoyed this review. I certainly enjoyed doing it. Hit the links below, like and subscribe too. I think it's around here somewhere, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, guys. Don't forget to send it.